the game. You don't play to just play. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. Can't wait. Let's go.
Yo, what is up? It's me, it's Key, and we're back with another Hoop Dreams and TD Queens. As always, I got my girl. Jury's in the building. What's going on, man?
What's good? I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Of course, I'm not home today, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to use my mama's laptop. So let's get into it. We got a good hour today. You know, of course, we're going to get our rants in. Of course, but as always, we are on the Sports Empire Network. And also, we will be on the Northeast Streaming production. So if y'all have Roku TV, tune in there and tune in at 7 o'clock. We'll be on Roku TV as well. But we're live here today. But we got Daniel Barry in the chat and we got Koo. What is going on? But so let's get down into the nitty gritty of things. But not breaking news, but Jimmy Butler's not playing tonight because of rest. Hold on, NBA. Hold on. I thought that we couldn't do this. What is going on? It's what? Not even the fourth day of NBA, and Jimmy Butler's already out of rest, but yet y'all want to go after James Harden for not. We're gonna talk about Harden, but what? I thought we couldn't do this anymore. I thought you couldn't rest players if they wasn't hurt. So NBA, what's going on?
It's been 3 days since the start of the season. What do you need rest for?
I don't care if it's a back-to-back. You signed up. You're professional. Your profession is to play basketball for the National Association. That National Basketball Association. That is your job. You get paid millions. Who cares if it's a back-to-back? You get paid millions of dollars to play something you love, which is basketball.
Exactly. I mean, I
don't care if it's a back-to-back. Then the NBA don't schedule back-to-back games. But you implemented a rule that's saying you can't load manage players if they're not hurt, and rest is not an option, in my opinion. If that's the case, everybody else is going to start in that.
Especially the star player like Jimmy Butler is.
So I had to get that off because I did see that across Twitter today. And I'm like, we resting people already? Linda, appreciate you. What is going on? Again, exactly, cool. A fine is coming. I don't understand. We resting guys already. Let Joel rest. Let AD rest. God forbid, let Kyrie rest. And that's not a legit injury. Like Devin Booker, he hasn't played because he legit has an ankle injury. He hasn't been playing yet. Bradley Beal, he has an injury. Jimmy Butler ain't got no injury. But
we're only 3 days into the season and we already got resting. 3 days. 72 hours into the season. And we already resting folks.
I don't understand it, y'all. I don't get it. But no Jimmy Butler. Yeah, exactly. Adam Silver said no more load management. Why is Jimmy Butler resting? Why is he ain't playing? Because he's resting. So now I don't know if they're in Miami or the other team, but still. So we coming to see Jimmy Butler and he resting. Don't make no dang on sense. But let's get down to the nitty gritty of things. And that first, so we do got some NBA to talk about some topics here. We got Mr. Anthony Davis. He's been in the news again so far. It's only a couple days into the season. First game, they're in Minneapolis. Thanks, Cool. So the first game they played, Anthony Davis didn't score in the second half against the champs. He had a good night the last night, but we all know how AD is. He's a roller coaster. He'll score, he'll be dominant one night, and then the next night, he'll get 7 points. And then the next game, he'll have 30, 15. The next game, 10 and 7. So the question is, Jory, since you are the Laker fan, can we get a title out of this AD?
Yes, because we actually got one from 2020. He was still just as inconsistent in 2020 as he is now. I mean, it's possible, but the pieces around him would have to work a little bit harder. One thing, Anthony Davis, to me, he's been catching a whole lot of flack for something that we've been known what he was since college. He's a defensive stud, and when his offense decides he wants to kick in, he's hard to stop. But the one thing Anthony Davis does need to figure out is how to put two halves together and not get hurt.
I agree.
The first game, he had 17 points in the first half. Didn't score. I didn't know he didn't score again until I actually watched the highlights. I was actually at work that game, but he didn't score again after the first half. That's unacceptable with the way this team is currently constructed. Everybody's going to have to score, especially when you thought about the game that they won against Phoenix. Phoenix didn't have some of those stars, and it took LeBron to actually have to take over that game late in the fourth for us to get that win. Anthony Davis desperately needs to figure out how to put one good half and another good half together. I feel like, and he's been in the league for too long for us to be saying that too, but we all know he's inconsistent. But I feel like it's possible, but he's going to have to get going early.
So in the first game, he played against the Nuggets. He 34 minutes, 6 from 17 from the field. He was 1 of 3, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 17 points, and he had 2 blocks. And then he didn't score again. Then he didn't score again. But then Thursday he played against Phoenix, and they won by 5. Mind you, Phoenix didn't have no Bradley Beal and no Devin Booker. He looked better in this game, but we know that's how AD is. 39 minutes. He was 10 of 17, 1 of 2 from 3, 12 rebounds, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 30 points in this game, 3 blocks. This is the AD that needs to be on a consistent night. Yes. This is the Anthony Davis that we need to see on a daily basis. Each and every time he steps on the court, he should at least get 25 to 30 points, 12 rebounds. There's no way we should see a 17-point AD. Mm-hmm. This AD will be an MVP AD if he played like this consistently. AD, when he's healthy, yes, he is a top 5 player. I've never disputed that about Anthony Davis. We all disputed, can he stay on the court? That's what our
motivated, because his motivation is a roller
consensus
right
was
there
about.
Too.
Can he stay on the floor? But if we get this 30-point a night AD, he'll be unstoppable. The Lakers will be a dangerous team.
Very. But he's a roller coaster, and he's been a roller coaster since he's been in the league. So this is what, year 8? This is year 8 of him, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like he could put it together, but it's starting to err on the side of you. We know what you are at this point. Right. He can get it together. He just needs his motor needs to be more consistent. Because 80's motor is high and 80's motor is low. I don't know why.
So their next stretch of games is Sacramento, Orlando, which is teams they should be able to dominate. So let's see, Anthony Davis, can he get back to not being on a rocky, emotional roller coaster? LeBron already said we're not listening to, what they're saying about AD. But if LeBron can't go, because with some stretch of the game last year, LeBron couldn't go because he was injured. We know LeBron takes care of his body. He's getting up there in age and still can play. But what if those games LeBron can't go? We're going to need Anthony Davis to step up, and he can't be a roller coaster if LeBron's out. And he can't have LeBron lead all the time. He has to be that guy too.
Like, in these 2 games are like the perfect for him to start stacking up consistency. And if he could prove to himself that he can be consistent and more consistent, who knows what'll happen? Who knows? If he could prove it to himself.
All right. So Anthony Davis, let's see what you can do. Most Laker fans are counting on you, to be the Anthony Davis that you are. I already know some Lakers fans is over AD already after 2 games because they know how he is. They just know, I know how he is. All right, so moving on. Hold on, my son would been texting at the oddest times. All right, so we getting into the next topic here, and I believe let me switch it here. All right, hold on. Like I said, this ain't my regular normal computer. I'd have been had this switched. All right, this guy right here. Lord have mercy.
I feel it coming.
James Harden. James Harden hasn't practiced, hasn't been at the Sixers facility for 10 days. So your job, you play basketball for the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia 76ers is your employer. You haven't been at your job for 10 days. Let me not show up at my job for 10 days. They're going to throw the book at me. I ain't going to have no job, right? You ain't going to have no job if you don't show up for 10 days, right?
Exactly.
So James Harden decides, oh, well, we about to play Milwaukee. Let me go on and work now. Let me get on this plane. They said, nah, brah. You stay back, and we catch you when we come back from Toronto. So now the NBA is investigating this, of why James Harden's not playing. Sixers could get fined because he's a technically healthy James Harden. Or do you think the NBA will look at this as a specialty case, but he already done said he don't want to play for the Sixers. He don't want to play for Daryl Morey. You already seen his antics. He didn't play in the preseason. He came to practice at that one time, and then you haven't seen him since. So do you think the NBA is going to look at this and fine the 76ers, or will they look at this like, okay, maybe it's a special case or knowing the situation? What do they do with James Harden? What does the NBA do about this?
I feel like what the NBA should do, because this is his own unique conversation right here, because he's actively trying to force himself out of Philadelphia. They're gonna have to look at this in its own light, because it's not just black and white as he's load managing and he's resting and he can play. No, he's been calling people liars, reiterating, doubling down, going on his whole world tour of going to a club and putting it on a dang on board thing. Daryl Morey is a liar and all this extra stuff. It's not about the rest at this point. It's about him trying to get himself out of Philadelphia. The NBA doesn't need to look at this as anything other than him forcing himself out. Now, I understand the investigation on both sides, and I feel like this whole situation is literally the culmination of two sides that just can't extinguish a fire. Like both sides were adding fuel to this whole thing. And of course, when you don't show up to training camp for 10 days, you only showed up one day, and you go bye-bye for 10 doing who knows what, and then you try to show up for the first game. You know how mad you have to make your employer to send you home? To say, we're better without you. You know how mad you gotta make your employer for them to do that? Knowing the repercussions? Knowing that if he's not there and he's not on the court or whatever the rule is, they're facing $100,000 fine? You know how horrible things have to be between him and the 76ers for it to get to that point, for them to willingly risk a fine and just send him home, because he clearly don't want to be there. He has other priorities. He wants to be a Clipper. I don't think the smart thing for him to do is to be a Clipper. Kendrick Perkins decided he wanted to throw out the Lakers. I think the hell not.
I ship a look. I told y'all I will trade James Harden for a Will Smith CD and some Annihilators. I just get him off the team. I get Morey wants to have stuff in return at this point. Give me a Will Smith CD and some Annihilators. I'll be great.
He's forced himself out of 3 teams in a year. He is not gonna get a good return for James Harden. So any type of return he got, the idea, he needs to have that or trash it. Because James Harden has single-handedly ruined his stock.
Daryl Morey, just take anything. I don't care. Like but we're gonna get into Dame and Giannis, but they moved so much better without him on Thursday night. We lost by a point, but
Exactly.
the floor was spaced. Everything. It was just we played so much better without Harden. Because I feel like Harden is taking the shine away from Tyrese Maxey, who is a stud.
He's just being a waste of a spot. He's a waste of a roster spot of a player that don't want to be there. Exactly. I don't need another one. I do not need another one to try my patience like that. And that one is a team destroyer right there, Mr. Harden, right there. If he don't get his way.
If Harden wanted high, exactly. Facts, Kyle. If he wanted a high value trade, he should have performed better in the playoffs. But Harden don't perform in the playoffs. Exactly. So the ball's in your court, James. It's not in our court. It's only. I mean, it might look bad for us if we don't continue to try to play you. But again, this is Ben Simmons all over again. All over again. It's Ben Simmons all over again. It's Ben Simmons all over again. So Morey promised you, not on writing, but he promised you some money. But why would Daryl Morey give you a max or give you any type of deal if you didn't perform in the playoffs? Yeah, you took a cut. Okay, yeah, we got PJ Tucker. Okay, if you upset because we got PJ Tucker and, he didn't work out to help us win the championship. But if that was the case, James, you should have opted out. You had an option not to come back. You chose to come back, and now you want us to trade you on the drop of a dime. But if I'm Daryl Morey, I'm trading you ASAP.
I'm getting rid of you ASAP. Because this type of situation is kind of similar to those that I know that have derailed teams. If you want to build something special in Philadelphia, offload him first. It'll be addition by subtraction. Because he is an ultimate distraction at this point. He's more trouble than what he's worth.
We gotta hear this in Philly all day, every day on local media or Philly sports news. Harden. But hopefully Daryl sees what the team played how the team played Thursday and see, well, maybe we don't need James. Maybe we need to get this rolling. So hopefully, we can get this rectified ASAP. Quick, fast, and now. We do have, again, some more NBA here for y'all. We go back to Thursday's game. And it's Damian Lillard on his new team with Giannis. And again, the Sixers opened up their season against the Bucks. Ended up losing 117-118. We were down 19 points at one point. And we cut it down to 1 right at the buzzer. D'Anthony Melton hits a 3. And we lose by 1. What can I say about this team? Nick Nurse has them balling and playing. He's making adjustments, something that Doc Rivers didn't do. Whenever PJ Tucker was guarding Giannis. So when Giannis sat on the bench, PJ Tucker sat on the bench. So little stuff like that, Doc Rivers didn't do. Jaden Springer, young guy, had 2 blocks in 5 minutes. Doc Rivers wouldn't have played him. So Nick Nurse is mixing up things in the offense. Tobias Harris looked great off the ISO. Of course, Joel Embiid had 21 points. Joel Embiid is going to be a while before Joel gets in shape. It's going to be about a month. Because you all know, off season, Joel doesn't work out. Why? Because he's rehabbing his dang on injuries from the season. He can't work out. So by the time the season comes, he's like, oh crap. So he'll be in game shape sometime in November. He told Nick Nurse he wants to play the whole half before, and he did. He played the first half. Like you didn't see him go out at all. So I guess he's trying to get in shape or whatever. But he didn't look bad. His numbers wasn't bad in my opinion. So we had Joel. He had 24 points. Maxey had 31. D'Anthony Melton had 10. Tobias Harris had 20 points. Kelly Oubre, something the Sixers haven't had.
He went off.
27 points. This is a wing that we have not had. We haven't had a wing that can shoot like this. And I told people, that's my next jersey. I've always been a Kelly Oubre fan, but that's my next jersey. Because you can put him in the starting lineup, you can put him off the bench. He plays defense. But Sixers look good, but that's not the question. I'm just saying that they look good. But the question is this duo a favorite to win it all this year?
They should be, considering what they look like and the bits and pieces I did get to watch. They should be a duo, considering the circumstances and considering the conference that they play in. The East is notoriously weak. Them, Boston, and if Philadelphia can maintain consistency, I'll put them up there. But you fight after those three. Trying to name teams that could realistically come out the East. I'm not even considering Miami because they lost too much and clearly they're not ready. But yeah, those two with Dame dropping for the past
his debut for the Bucks, and he beat I
Yes.
forget who it was 39. Dame took over in that fourth quarter with the last 5 minutes. It was Dame. It was as he's pointing. It's Dame time.
Mm-hmm. And then Giannis, because Giannis is not a spot up shooter like that, he'll let Dame just shoot when it needs to be, when it comes for it. That's why I'm like, they're the perfect fit. Because Dame needs his shots come needs his touches come clutch time, and Giannis is the overall floor general for the most part.
So, they're going to work Chris Middleton, and he's on limited minutes because of his knee and everything. Mm-hmm. But Middleton is there. Still got Pat Connaughton. You still got Brook Lopez as well. Bobby Portis, he's that enforcer. They got Jay Crowder. I like the Bucks. Little bit over Boston here. It's the Bucks. Of course, it's going to be Boston. Philly is still in the mix of the team that's competitive in the East. Maybe you can throw the Knicks in there.
They look
Cavaliers, who knows? Miami, maybe. But like I said, the week is the weaker conference, and it's anybody's game. But those top three, Philly, Boston, and Milwaukee, those are the top three right now. So you have to pick Miami, the Heat's culture. Like I said, you throw Miami in there, but it don't look good on Miami. You resting Jimmy Butler already.
Yeah, no.
But these two are the favorites. Giannis finally has somebody that compliments him, and he's getting an extension, so he likes Milwaukee. Dame is finally somewhere where it's possible he could have a ring finally. He got out of Portland. I think you stayed there a little bit too long, Dame. But you in the perfect situation right now. So we'll see what these Bucks do. They're definitely going to be fun to watch. Giannis doing his Giannis things. And then you got Dame doing his things.
And now they can both shut up because I'm tired of hearing from both of them for the whole offseason. Giannis and Dame.
Good point by Damian. The Pacers, too. The Pacers could be a sleeper, possibly to get into in the conversation as a playoff contender. Pacers are going to be pretty good. All right, so we got also here before we switch out and go to the NFL. We do got one more subject here in the NBA, and trust me, I wanted to play this video for you. I wanted to play this video for y'all. We couldn't do that, but I'm just gonna sum it. I'm just gonna sum it up. For you. Hold on, let me bring it back up. So Kevin Garnett. He was talking. I think him and Paul Pierce have a show, and he had made some comments about Joel Embiid. He said Joel Embiid should be pissed at Daryl Morey, and Daryl Morey needs to be fired. That he needs to demand more, and I'm going to have to agree with KG said. If y'all don't know, y'all can easily go, YouTube or Google KG saying, what about Embiid? He pretty much said Embiid needs to be pissed Giannis went off and said, I don't want to, I don't think I want to play here if I know this is not going to be a title contention team. What happened? They went and got Dame Lillard.
And then signed Giannis.
And then signed Giannis after they got rid of a Drew Holiday. So I feel like Kevin Garnett is right about, in my opinion, he's right. Joel should be pissed. What are your thoughts on? You seen the video I showed you last night. What's your thoughts on KG and his comments?
He's absolutely correct. I'm like, you see these big name stars demanding stuff. Clearly, with his cohort, his former co-star in Philly, he's demanding stuff now. But yeah, this is Daryl Morey's fault. Like, what? Why are you not putting another bona fide superstar? Well, the James Harden experiment failed. There's that. But I'm going to just chalk it up as a failure. But you're not... I get what he's saying, and I agree. Put the pressure on Morey to give Embiid another star, put more pieces around him, maybe to depth. They fixed the coaching. So the pieces are kind of sort of coming together. If you saw that game Thursday, like you said, they look good. As far as the offseason, I completely agree with what KG said. Of course, Daryl Morey needs to be fired. He has a part of this foolishness going on with James Harden. If Daryl Morey did not decide to bring James Harden from Brooklyn to Philly, we don't even have any of this going on right now.
No, I'm sure we could have dumped Ben Simmons off somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
But this offseason, Daryl Morey has re-signed Daniel House. He worked back Danny Green. Don't ask me why. We get old man Green. We get double agent Danny back. I don't know why. The only best piece that he got was Kelly Oubre. When I tell you I was pissed off when we got Danny Green back, and I was like, you got a Kelly Oubre out there who still ain't got no job, and then a couple days later, we signed Kelly Oubre. I was like, oh my God, Daryl Morey heard me. He heard my cry. So, but that's the only thing you do. And then on the offseason, I sit here and look at my phone and see other teams blowing up, getting people. We sit here and do nothing. It never fails. We do nothing. I just want some incompetency in the front office. And Josh Harris, I'm talking to you, sir. I understand you just got the Commanders as ownership. You need to get out their butt just for a hot second, and come deal with the 76ers for right now. Because you are tied to this too. This is your franchise. And if we keep going the way we're going, something's got to give. You know what's funny? Daryl Morey is not even the GM. It's Elton Brand. Elton Brand is your GM. Elton Brand lets Morey do whatever. So it shouldn't be like this. So either Elton Brand's going to be GM or you give Morey the title of GM. He's the president of basketball operations. I thought general manager trumps that. Either you're not going to be GM or you step down. Josh Harris got to step in. I get he's dealing with the Commanders, but you got a Philadelphia 76ers team who needs some type of ownership, somebody in the front office.
And this is what you get when you pander to one specific player for the most of your career, and then they turn on you. This is what you get. He pretty much asked for this. And it's at this point, Brand and Morey need to be gone from messing up this team and not improving. Not actively going to go get decent pieces other than however you pronounce his last name.
Who?
Him.
Daryl Morey?
Oubre. Him.
Oh, Kelly Oubre?
Him. Yeah, that's the only piece worthwhile that they got this offseason. Danny Green is old and inconsistent. That's a waste of a roster spot.
What do you mean? Why is it Daryl's fault? We all know that Joel didn't show up in the playoff, but it's Daryl Morey's job to bring in pieces to help Joel, knowing that James Harden didn't do it or PJ Tucker didn't do it. We didn't have not one piece of a bench last year. That's not Joel's fault. That's Daryl Morey's job to bring players in here. So yes, it's on Daryl.
The roster construction of this team is on Morey and Brand. So, yeah, pretty much. Nick Nurse is the only good addition to this team. And Oubre.
James Harden is the one that got Doc Rivers fired, but it was time for Doc to go anyway. It was time to you had a 3-2 lead again against Boston and couldn't close it out. James Harden played 2 games and showed up. All the other games was non-existent because him and Joel couldn't show up when it mattered. Couldn't show up when it mattered.
Roster construction, the organization, the most of this, like with roster construction and how it just flows, you can tell a well-run organization from an organization that's not. Philadelphia is not a well-run organization, clearly, because they're not winning as their talent level should suggest that, if we're being completely honest.
Jimmy Butler situation. Why Jimmy didn't want to stay, it was leadership. It was Ben Simmons who always wanted the ball in his hands, knowing Ben is not a true point guard, and there was no leadership. Go back and watch the 3 old men when he talked with JJ Redick. He talks about it. But yes, we offered Jimmy the max. He went to Miami for less. It's not we didn't offer Jimmy the money. We wanted Jimmy to stay. So they gave it to Tobias Harris. So that's not Jimmy's fault. That's why I was like, oh, you picked Tobias Harris over me. No, we didn't, Jimmy. You left. You wanted to go to Miami. But nobody's not going to say that. You went to Miami because there was no leadership here. It was Brett Brown who stunk. Ben Simmons, no, he can't shoot. It was no leadership. So, yes, Jimmy Butler was the best option here. I best believe if Jimmy was still here, we possibly could have had a ring already. But I think after this year, if something doesn't happen, Joe already said, he wants to move on. But I don't know. It's like, why leave Philly knowing, if you bring a champion.
If he's just talking or if he's just trying to put the pressure on Morey to put pieces around him.
Because if Joel stays and bring a championship here, he will be a Philly god in the city of Philadelphia. Just how these fans go crazy over AI, even though AI never won a championship, but he went out there on the court each and every night, put his body, heart, and soul on the line on that court. This is why AI is loved. Joel, you are the heart of the city as well. The fans love you. You bring a championship here again, and you will be a Philadelphia god if you was to bring a championship. Because this time, Sixers haven't won a championship since '83. So it's going on a 40-year mark. So it's time that we bring a championship here.
And don't follow in your footsteps of James Harden, because that's how you make people hate you.
All right, y'all. So we're going to take a little break here. We're going to come back and flip it over to the NFL side of things. But we be back.
What's up, everybody? It's Control Simpson with Wire to Wire Sports Podcast, where we're going to cover all things breaking news, sports related. We're going to preview games, and we're also going to give you our reaction to games that have happened before. You can catch us on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you miss us there, no worries. You can also catch us on Roku with Northeast Streaming Sports Productions from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Hey, and listen, if you're not into all sports and just NFL, we have Sideline to Sideline. That's on Thursday nights from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. We'll break down the NFL week, the Thursday night game, and we'll preview all NFL action.
And if you're like me and college football is your fix, tune in every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Coast to Coast College Football pregame show. We'll review the previous week's action, the day's biggest games. We'll give you our pick'ems, and we'll even give you some teams that are on upset alert.
And if you don't catch us live, you can download us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcast. We do also have a YouTube station, Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, y'all, and we're back. Again, we are the Hoop Dreams and TD Queens. Talk about all the NBA and NFL topics. So now we are on the NFL part of the show, and we're going to talk about Mr. One, Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook, he did get, he left Minnesota. We all know Minnesota wanted to go younger, and they keeping Matheson up there. But Dalvin Cook could have chose to go anywhere. But why? He chose the one Jets. I think he went because of Aaron Rodgers. But y'all know what happened with Aaron Rodgers. He got hurt. So now he's not liking his role. I don't know why he went there in the first place, knowing Breece Hall was that guy. Breece Hall is the main running back. But he doesn't like his role. So now he wants to be traded yet again. What is going on with Dalvin Cook and the Jets?
Like Dalvin, You chose to go to the Jets. You were a free agent. You chose the Jets knowing their situation at running back, knowing that they have a pretty decent running back room up there in New whatever it is, wherever they are, wherever they play at. I don't know if it's New York, New Jersey, whatever. But
they play in Jersey.
same difference. It's close enough. But you knew exactly what you were getting into. You knew. So the fact that you're frustrated by your lack of production or whatnot, you sure have been fumbling when you've been getting the ball too. You sure they aren't frustrated with that, Mr. Cook? Because I'm pretty sure the whole Jets organization have a lot to be frustrated about. And you're frustrated by lack of production and carries and all of that. You knew that you weren't going to get a bulk. Once Breece Hall got 100% healthy, anybody with some sense would have figured out that you weren't going to get the bulk of the carries. No, they are not trading Derrick Henry. Thank you. Back to what I was saying. You knew that, and you still signed there. And I don't know if you had any other options or if everybody was just set at the running back position. But at the same time, you went there. Now you want to be traded. Your value was nothing when you went there, and you've done almost nothing. So what? I mean, you've done something, but it's not a lot to increase your value. So what do you think you're worth? A sixth? A fifth or sixth? Like, let's be real here. You can't just want out and get frustrated because you're not touching the ball. In a situation where you knew that once the real running back one was going to get healthy, you weren't going to see the ball as much. You knew that. His frustration is just self-inflicted.
I feel like he shouldn't even went to the Jets. He went to the Patriots
Exactly.
before they signed Zeke. He could have went there. But Zeke is, not playing bad with the Patriots. He's actually running pretty well. So I have no clue why you went with the Jets. Or maybe it's the Jets' offense for not maybe having some type of two-headed running game monster getting going because of Breece Hall and the Dalvin Cook is not a bad option. Maybe implement him some more. Maybe give him some more touches. I understand he's upset about his role. Well, maybe implement him in the role. The Jets actually doesn't have a bad winning record right now.
They're on a 2-game winning streak compared to what we're going to do after they lost Aaron Rodgers.
And we all thought they were going to not win any more games after Rodgers. But their defense is not that bad. They beat my Eagles team. So they've been playing pretty well since then. Their defense ain't bad. If Zach Wilson should just get it together, maybe the Jets could make a run maybe as a wild card, but we'll see. They do kind of have a favorable schedule. They can win some games and get it together. So we'll definitely see. But maybe the Jets need to.
It's like if Zach Wilson continues to play smart football instead of trying to be a superhero, and we saw that he can win both ways, aggressive and conservative, they'll be fine. But they're going to need Aaron Rodgers there, clearly, because they play different when Aaron Rodgers is in the building.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe the Jets need to implement Dalvin Cook in the role a little bit more. So, but anyway.
He'll be all right.
We're going to talk about the Bills. The Bills did get a win Thursday night. We did see some inconsistencies from one Josh Allen. A second here to put that up. But the Bills' inconsistencies. Can you see the Bills this Bills team winning the championship?
No, because the Bills ride literally off the highs and lows on Josh Allen. Quite literally. And y'all like to force feed Stephon so much. And their defense is starting to rack up the injuries. Like Matt Milano. I can't name the other ones. But that Matt Milano injury That's going to be a significant one. The defense don't look the same right now. So, and unless they're going to keep playing cupcake teams all season, which I know that they won't, Super Bowl, no. But will they probably go to the playoffs? Yes. They're probably, if they're not going to win that division, they'll be second, and they'll still go to the playoffs. They'll have a decent record, but Super Bowl, no, because this team depends entirely too much on the emotional roller coaster, the roller coaster that is Josh Allen.
So the Bills. So Allen actually didn't have he was 31 of 40, 324, 2 tubs and an interception. The running game, Josh Allen had 41 yards of that and a touchdown. James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother, 14 carries, 67 yards, and Latavius Murray only had 7 yards. Then he did spread the ball around. He did give it to Shakir, who's almost at 100 yards. Gave it to Gabe Davis. Stephon Diggs had 9 catches for 70 yards. Dalton Kincaid had some catches because of Dawson Knox is out for the season. This defense gotta show up and play a little better as well. You don't know what this defense is going to be about as well. But Josh Allen's still throwing interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Still throwing interceptions. On the year, he has 8. 17. He's 17 of 8. 17 and 8. He's tied with Jalen Hurts, I believe, with interceptions right now.
Dang.
So, yeah. Hurts has 8, I believe. But Josh Allen can't have turnovers it seems like he gets turnovers in the worst part of the game.
Mm-hmm. It's because he's a gunslinger. And they didn't rein him in early. And they encouraged this gunslinging, reckless behavior. And it's not going to stop now. It's not. Because he has the talent to make those throws, but he's just so inconsistent doing it, nobody felt the need to actually try to get him to, hey, maybe let's not do that all the time. And that's on coaching.
So the Bills' schedule from here on out, give me a second. I do know they play the Eagles as well, but that's not till later on in November. So Bengals, Broncos, Jets, and they play the Eagles towards that Sunday after Thanksgiving. Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers. So their record is, going to be the teams they play. They could not say win out, but they can still keep winning. Right now with their record, they are currently still leading they're not winning the East right now. That is Miami. What's going on, Coach? So, but Josh Allen got to still play consistently. He can't force it. Use the running backs more. That's the thing. They rely on him running so much. And then he has to force it. He didn't look like he was forcing it on Thursday night from what I saw. Like I said, he was swinging the ball around. But you're right. He's a gunslinger. So there's some interceptions that he's going to have. 17 and 8. It's okay. But those 8 interceptions I would be upset about.
Because they come in the worst possible
time. They do. They come in the worst time ever. Especially on the scoring drive, or he needs to pick up some yards. That's what hurt him in the Jets game. Those 4 turnovers. Even though he only threw 1, you gotta play turnover-free football to win games. And they won this game. I mean, I'm not saying this because it's the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a respectable team. Baker Mayfield just didn't play great that game. So
Baker Mayfield is just as if not more inconsistent than Josh Allen. So that's where that came from.
All right. So Deshaun Watson. So
what is going on in Cleveland?
Texans traded him. For all this capital, draft picks. Cleveland went out and got him. Has not been on the field lately. He's
like
been
Cleveland
hurt.
got fleeced.
Pretty much. What is going on in Cleveland? And did they make the wrong choice by taking Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, because even when he's healthy, he's not the same Deshaun Watson. We've had a pretty decent-sized sample of him in Cleveland. And when he's not hurt, He's not the same unless he's playing my Titans. That is not going to stop. I have a feeling. Because he plays different when he plays my team. And I can joke about that because I had to sit through that game, that Cleveland game. That was horrible. But Deshaun Watson, if his availability is his biggest issue right now. And then the whole back and forth, is he hurt? Is he fine? I don't know what's going on. The whole not being transparent thing on the Browns organization telling us that not telling us that his shoulder was messed up, even though I knew his shoulder was messed up. His shoulder's been messed up since the game against my team. Like, why go ahead and put him on IR, let him sit for a month, and make sure he's healthy, instead of just putting him out there in bad situations, and he's not at 100%, clearly.
I mean, shout out to PJ Tucker. Not PJ Tucker, PJ Walker. For going out there trying to, trying to win some games. Do they bring in a QB possibly? Maybe they shouldn't have let go of Jacoby Brissett. Maybe they should at least grab them, because granted, Jacoby Brissett was keeping them in. He didn't have a bad record when Watson came back from that 11-game suspension. They were starting to gel towards the end, Watson and the team. But now I feel like the team they got to get back in chemistry with Watson. They got PJ in there, and they're keeping him. He's keeping them modest. It's the defense. That defense is legit.
That defense is what makes that team win now. That defense makes that team win now, and that offense. You have the pieces there. Your quarterback isn't healthy. Why are they not letting people know that his rotator cuff is messed up or whatever the injury was? Why aren't they just sitting him to make sure that he's healthy? At some point, you got to protect your bread. If that's your multi-million, dang near $250 million investment, oh no. No. Couldn't have been me. Because if I got that type of money invested into a person, I'm going to make sure that they're healthy.
Can you imagine him in Atlanta?
Collision.
If Atlanta would have bid on him?
I feel like Atlanta should have tried a little bit harder to go get, even though it probably wouldn't have changed what's going on down here, because Desmond Ridder stinks. But that's another discussion for another moment. But as far as it's looking like Cleveland made a huge mistake. And when you gamble like this, you just pray that it works out. It's not working out. Whether it's injury, availability, him not even playing to the standard that he used to play in Texas when he was a Texan. He's not playing up to that regard if he's healthy. So, yeah, they got fleeced. I'm willing to go that far out on a limb and say if they should be at least veering towards the side of regret.
All right, it's not a show if we don't talk about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. It's not a show if we don't talk about this guy. Jerry Jones, sir. Jerry Jones went out to the world and said, "Oh, I like my team. We don't need to trade for nobody." Now, mind you, we got the Philadelphia Eagles who needed help in the secondary. What did Mr. Harry Roseman do?
They go get my damn safety.
Went out and got Kevin Byard. What do any other teams do when they need help?
They go and get it.
Go and get it. But Jerry Jones told the world, "I like my team. We're going to ride with it. So we don't need to trade." Jerry, this is why I tell Cowboys fans, I don't wish death on nobody, but the only way Dallas Cowboys is winning the championship is Jerry goes to the upper room.
Why would you say that? Because the whole Brandon Cooks experiment isn't really working out, if we're being completely honest. It's CeeDee Lamb and a bag of crackers. We're having issues when the defense has to stay on the field. We're having issues stopping the run with a really good running game. Let's see. We lost Trayvon Diggs for the year. The whole Stephon Gilmore thing, how's that turning out? So there's plenty of things to see with this team, especially in the way that they've lost. The 2 games that they've lost, Arizona and the 49ers, there's plenty of holes in this team, especially when the defense is not taking advantage of a bad team. There's plenty of holes. So to sit there and say that you're not looking to make a trade when you really need somebody on the other side of CD and you really need somebody to kind of bolster your depth in the secondary, it's kind of asinine, but that man is 85 years old and he's setting his beliefs and he likes the players that he drafts more than he trades for. So Dallas will always be getting in their own way as long as Jerry Jones is in majority of control of everything that goes over there.
Like, I tell Cowboys fans they're not there until Jerry is not in control, or maybe even Steven, maybe it's both of them. Dallas will never win a championship until the Joneses are gone. So Ern said, "Can the Cowboys trade us for Josh McDaniels?" Ooh, boy, we're not even gonna get into the Josh McDummy situation, but it is that time, y'all. Picks and predictions for week 8. I can't believe we were just saying, "Oh, we can't wait for football season." We already on week 8,
halfway through. Like, slow down.
We are halfway through. So far, I am 1-0. I did pick the Bills to beat the Bucks on Thursday night, but we got the Eagles and the Commanders. Who are you taking here?
I'm gonna say the Eagles because I don't trust anything that they got going on in Commanders. Y'all heard what Jonathan Allen said today. He tired of that crap. Not today, but he said he tired of it. It's been the same crap for the same 7 years. I'm like, y'all done made my favorite lose all his professionalism.
That video was hilarious, and if y'all did not see Ryan Clark reaction to it on Get Up, had me crying. But he wasn't wrong though. But I'm going to take the Eagles here, even though I know Washington did give us a run, take us in overtime, and we played them in Philly. We're now in Washington this week. I'm taking the Eagles still to go ahead and win this game. Sam Howell has been sacked 40 times. So I think our line can get to Sam Howell. And
that's averaging about 5 times a game.
So yeah, Eagles should win this game. We got the Patriots and the Dolphins. We got an AFC East division game here.
Common sense should tell me that the Patriots will win this game, but Bill Belichick notoriously has his division opponents figured out. This will probably be a tighter game than what most people think, and minus the fact that the Patriots got that win, like a little moral victory. They're a little confident about themselves, but I'm still taking Miami.
I'm taking Miami as well. Jalen Ramsey is back. He's back in. He was practicing. He's back. I don't see the Dolphins winning 2 in a row. Tyreek Hill's playing. I know he didn't practice, but I'm taking Miami here. I would
not be surprised if the Patriots won. No, I would not be surprised.
He said tune in a landslide. I can't. This game's interesting. The Jets versus the Giants. Mind you, they both play in MetLife Stadium, but the Giants are considered the home team. I'm taking the Jets here. Not because I'm in the NFC East with the Giants. I just think the Jets have a better overall team. So if Zach Wilson can play mistake-free football and manage this game, they should win. Sauce Gardner's back. DJ, I forget the other corner. He's back. DJ Reed's back. So I'm taking the Jets here. Jets should win this game.
I will take the Jets too, but don't mess up. Don't make me a liar, Zach. I've been rooting for you ever since I felt like all the criticism he was receiving was kind of unnecessary and kind of just, people made me want to root for him. Because I felt so bad. I'm like, he don't just, we all know what he is. They made me feel bad for him. I root for him now.
Jags and the Steelers.
This is a snooze fest, but I'll take the Jags. Even though I like the pieces that Pittsburgh has, I like their defense. I don't like Kenny Pickett and his inconsistency. Give me the Jaguars.
I'm gonna take the
And I
Jags
hate
as
to
well.
say that too.
I'm gonna take the Jags as well. Josh Allen's been playing well for the Jags on the defensive side of the ball. Defensively, they've been playing great. Travis Etienne has been playing well. Trevor Lawrence, when he's good, he's on. I'm gonna take the Jags. I hate picking Atlanta in this situation. So we got Atlanta against the Titans.
I'm taking the Titans. I think we're better coached. We got a better defense. I don't know what. I really don't. I'm going to be uncertain about the quarterback, but Will Levis, please be better than Desmond Ridder. Please. For crying out loud, be better than that.
I'm taking Atlanta. I'm going to take Atlanta only because of Will Levis.
I like D-Hop and company over Drake London and Kyle Pitts, who have been turned into myths because of Desmond Ridder. I'll be a homer here. And the game is in Nashville. And we're coming off of a bye. So it stacks up to that stereotypical after bye week victory.
All right, I know we got like 3 minutes to go through these. So we got the Texans and the Panthers.
Texans.
Take the Texans as well. I think their defense it can get to Carolina. CJ Stroud has been playing lights out. He gets Tank Dell back. Dalton Schultz knows. I'm taking the Texans. Rams and Cowboys.
Give me the Cowgirls.
So yeah, I'm taking the Dallas too. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams find a way to win. Minnesota and Green Bay.
Sounds like a game I'm going to sleep for, but Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Minnesota as well. I don't know. I can't trust Jordan Love right now. Saints and Colts. I'm not picking the Saints no more. I told myself after last week's game I picked the Saints to beat the Jags. They almost did. I'm gonna take the Colts here.
And I hate the Colts, but I'll take the Saints.
Browns and Seahawks.
Seahawks. Browns don't have Watson.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks as well. I think Gino, can still keep that team rolling. I think DK comes back. JSN, they'll probably get involved some more. Jake Bobo was very underrated rookie that they drafted. But I like the Seahawks. We got the Ravens and the Cardinals.
Ravens, and I hate to say that too.
I'm going to Ravens as well. I don't think Arizona has the power to beat the Ravens, but if they do, that is an upset. Chiefs and Broncos, and the Chiefs is playing in 6 to 8 inches of snow, and it's 29 in Denver.
If the Chiefs find a way to lose this game, I promise you that I will rip them. But Chiefs.
I'm definitely going Chiefs. Bengals and 49ers.
49ers.
I'm taking the Bengals in an upset. I picked the Bengals because of no Brock Purdy. But Brock Purdy passed concussion protocol, and
he's playing.
But I'm still taking the Bengals in an upset here. We got the Chargers and the Bears. I swear for beans, if the Chargers, look at me here, the Chargers do not beat the Bears, Brandon Staley needs to be treated like Herm Edwards and fired right on the field.
Right then and there. And left on the tarmac like chicken.
You take
need to go, but if they lose against this Bears team, yeah. I'll pick the Chargers. But I feel like Staley's going to do something stupid in this game, and it's going to get him fired for real this time.
And last, we got the Monday night game. We got the Raiders and the Lions, and Jimmy G is back, but I am still taking the Lions here. I think the Lions have a chance to beat this this Vegas team. I don't think they lose again. So even Ern's picking the Lions, and that the Raiders is his team. But y'all guys, that is our hour. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in every Saturday at 5 p.m. Again, make sure y'all go to the Northeast Streaming Sports Productions on Roku TV. Y'all see us again live there at 7 p.m. As for myself, Jury, we'll be back next week with more topics of the NFL and the NBA. So make sure y'all tune in there Monday morning. Come on back to the Sports Empire Network for the Chris and Mo with Coffee and Sports with Chris and Mo. But we are going to get on out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us this afternoon, evening, and enjoy your rest of your college day.
I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, you guys any